we are working on now at the moment.
Yes, yes.
Yes, so let's see how it is going to happen. Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So that's the only thing we require at the moment. The funding is almost ready. So if we can get the donor through, we should be able to work it through.
Okay.
Yeah, it's pray for it.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So last time we were discussing 2 or 3 kinds of costing methods. Why do we need costing? We said we need costing for one purpose, that is to get the product cost. We need the product cost for what? Because the product cost is the thing that is going to tell us whether this product is profitable or not profitable or that kind of a thing. So for that purpose, we have learned 2 or 3 kinds of costing. One is what we call absorption costing system, where we were putting up all the overheads based on either unit cost or labor hours or machine hours.
Machine hours, yes.
Yeah. So that is what we learned. Then we learned something called marginal costing, where the overheads are not absorbed, only the direct material, direct labor and variable overheads are considered, and the overheads don't absorb overhead, we just charge it to the P&L for the period, for the year. So we don't put it to the product. So the product is costed only at direct material, direct labor and variable overheads, which we call marginal costing.
Yes.
Then we learned last week somewhere what is called activity-based costing. There it is the same as absorption costing, only different is overheads are absorbed, not according to the unit cost, not according to the labor hours, not according to the machine hours, but according to the activities. Costs are taken into activities and they are absorbed using a cost driver. Cost driver.
Yes.
So that is what we learned up to last lesson. Today, before I go into look at some questions next week, I want to look at the other costing methods available. So these 3 methods we know now. So we want to look at some other costing methods that we use, the people use other than what we have already learned. Other costing methods. So let's look at the other costing methods that that we are going to use it. So yeah, basically what are the other costing methods that we will use it, right? So yeah, so other costing methods. So start off, let's look at some other costing method. So basically, activity-based traditional costing, there are other costing methods used by the organization, because for some organizations, the activity-based costing, absorption costing may not suit them. So because of that, there are types of costing which we call joint product costing, throughput accounting and environmental costing. Joint product, throughput accounting and environmental costing. So 3 new methods. So today hopefully we will look at the joint product costing. What is joint product costing? So let's look at this one today. So joint product costing. So sometimes, you know, particularly in your Middle East countries, you will find once you process a particular raw material, you get more than one output, different product. For example, oil, gas, from the same raw material, same process, but you get a more than one product. So these are what we call joint product. So some products may be produced at the same time in the same process. One process, but it will prepare 2 products, maybe 2 or 3. So this is oil is one thing. So these products are known as joint product. Normally what we look at is one process, one product. But here, one process, more than one product. Right. So they are called joint product. And the separation point, so you put the raw material and then it is processed, the separation point, we call it split off point. So at that point you find 2 products coming out, or maybe 3 products. So particularly good example is, you know, these carbonated drinks. carbonated drink.
Yes.
So what they do is they process one drink, and where the process starts with syrup, the various sweetness and the malt, and then they are added before they are split up with individual flavoring. So it's a one essence, one drink, and after that they put up the strawberry essence and they call it strawberry. They put up orange and they say orange. So they put up different kinds of essences, and they can come out with different kinds of product. So that is what we call. So it's a good example. One raw process, and from the process they get one particular thing, and at that point they split it up, putting up various individual flavoring. So joint costs are basically the raw material cost, the labor cost, and the overhead cost, up to the initial split off point. So it's a common cost, right? It's a common cost. You put the raw material, you put the labor, you put overhead, everything is common, and that common cost, now we have to split it into one or more products, two or more products. So that you can't use our absorption costing system, we can't use the activity based system, we can't use even the marginal cost. Because not one process, one product, one process, more product, more than one product.
Yes.
So you need to have a different kind of a costing system. And that costing system, which has what we call joint cost and a common cost. So joint cost is the cost of process that results in more than one product or service.
Yes.
This is the raw materials, the direct labor, and the overheads right up to the point of split. Because that is one thing you put it up, and then after that. So that is what we call joint cost. So before it is split. And then after that we have various joint products. And in fact not only joint products, we have something called byproducts also.
Raw material, labor cost, and overhead.
You put it up and then you process it, and then you get more than one product from your machine at the point of split, right? And that one, so this is what we call a common cost. So it is not related to a particular process, it is there. So the common cost, the way overheads, we can use the absorption costing system. That is, we can use the machine hours or the labor hours or whatever it is to take the overhead common cost. Then the joint cost, right, that is what we call a joint cost, cannot be normally attributable to individual joint product or byproduct. Now it is a combination of cost, and therefore we have to do some kind of an allocation to this joint product. So joint product A, joint product B, joint product C. So this total cost what you got should be allocated according to some method, and that is what we call joint product costing. So you put the raw materials, you put the direct labor, you put the overhead. So up to that point, all that is called common cost. But with the common cost, we have now more than two products coming in. And that, because of this common cost, will have to be somewhat a portion allocated to the joint products in some way, and that is an arbitrary method that we are going to use, and that is what we call joint product costing. So let's look at what are the ways we can allocate this joint product. So joint cost, often products more than one product. So we have the joint cost, and with the joint cost we have product A, B, C. So let's assume the joint product cost is 100,000. That is the direct material, direct labor, and overheads. That's the total cost. So after that you have three products coming up. Let's assume there are three products coming up. So how are we going to allocate it? So these additional products may be described as joint products or byproduct. So generally there's a differentiation between joint and a byproduct, but for the moment let's assume more than one joint product. So we have more than one joint product coming up. And essentially joint products are main product. They are the main product. But there are, in addition to the joint product, you might find some product which is not a main product, which we call a byproduct. Byproduct. I mean that you can't sell it in the market at the normal selling price, but it's a side product, like waste oil, for example. When you process oil, you get something called waste oil, which is not a main product. You can't sell it at a commercial price, but it has a value. You can be sold at a scrap value, or what we call not a main product. So it is a byproduct. So in the main product is the joint product. The byproduct is the incidental product. So you can have a joint products and byproduct. So joint products, two or more products produced by the same process and separated in a process, each having sufficiently high saleable value. So A and B both are big saleable values. Maybe you can sell it for 200,000. Maybe you can sell it for 250,000. But this one, see, it's a small product compared to the two big products. It must have a saleable value of 10,000. So this we call it a byproduct. Not a big one, right? Sufficiently high saleable value to merit its production. So A and B, you will produce it because it's big production, 200, 250,000. But C is a side product, not a big product. You are not producing with the main idea of producing the byproduct. You are producing with the main idea of producing the two main products, but the byproduct comes as a side, 10,000.
Yes.
So that is what is happening. So byproduct is the output of some value produced incidentally in manufacturing the main product. So you are focusing on these two, but as a side product you get a byproduct, which is worth small amount, not big amounts, but a small amount. So cost incurred to the prior to separation is what we call the joint cost. So I told you here, let's assume the cost is 100,000. Now let's put it up. 100 is too small. Let's put it up 150,000. So for 150,000 joint product, we may have a no, 150 is also not good. Let's think it is 300,000. For a 300,000 joint product, we get a one product which is worth 200,000. We get another product which is worth 250,000, and we get a small product worth 10,000. So I'm going to put 200, 260 and 10,000. So you spend 300,000. How much you are going to get? 200, 260 and 10. So you are getting 470,000 worth of products by putting 300,000 of joint. And that 170 is your profit. Correct?
Yes.
But we do not know. We know 170 is profit, but we do not know how much A is bringing, how much B is bringing, how much C is bringing. Understand?
Yes.
We know that it is bringing 470, but we do not know who is bringing what. Whether it is the 150, whether A is bringing how much, but we know in total. But that is not good enough, because we want to know this 200,000 sales, what is the cost? 260,000 sales, what is the cost? So in other words, this 300,000 must be split. Got it?
Split.
The 300,000 cost must be split between the two main products. Byproduct, we don't take it seriously. So within the A and B, you must split the 300,000. So for example, you can split it 150 and 150. In that case, A is going to bring a profit of 50,000, B is going to bring a profit of 110,000. Or you can split it 200 and 100. In that case, A no profit, B big profit. So like that. So that is what we have to do it. So as I said, the byproduct is output of some valued product incidentally manufacturing. Cost incurred prior to separation is joint as known as joint cost. So our task is how to allocate that joint cost. So split off point. So now this is what is going to happen. I'm putting it up in a chart. So the labor, overheads and raw materials. So they get together. They are what we call the joint cost. And they get into a common process. And that common process, this is what we call the split off point, right? Labor and other overheads and raw materials get into the common process, and at the split off point, we have 3 products coming in. Give me a minute, Sam.
Right. Okay, no.
Hello. Huh? Okay, එතකොට අර මේක බැංකට අරම වන්නේද? නැකුවා. Right, okay. Right. Right. So, let's look at, so what is going to happen? You get a joint product called A. You get a joint product called B. And you might have a byproduct called C.
C.
Now that joint product what you are going to get, it may have to be further processed. That is where in that carbonated drink thing, you put the flavor. You put the orange flavor, and you have to put labor and overheads, and you get a new product. Joint product B also you have to put labor and overhead. Byproduct maybe not. You are not going to do too much of thing. So that is what basically what is going to happen. So labor, overhead, this is what we call the joint cost. This whole thing is called the joint cost. And this joint cost, I told you in the earlier question that we were looking at. So I said this is going to bring your sales value of 200,000. This is going to bring your sales value of 260,000. This is going to bring your sales value of 10,000. Maybe to get this 200,000 sales, so your joint cost is 300,000. So 300,000 joint cost, 470,000 is the selling price. But maybe there's another labor and overhead which you are going to add it up to joint product A, maybe 20,000 and maybe 10,000. So there's another 20 and a 10 going up. So joint cost is 300, but then there's for the product A there's another cost of 20, and for the product B another cost of 10,000. Total cost is 330,000.
Yes.
And you are selling it for 470. The two main products are bringing 460. The byproduct is bringing 10, 470. So ultimately you are left with 140 profit.
Yes.
140 profit. So that is what this joint thing is going to do for you. So let's look at what will ultimately happen. So method of joint cost apportionment, that 300,000. So there are many ways. So one way is the physical measurement. Second way is the market value at the point of separation. Third one, net realizable value or net one. The method that chosen will give different inventory valuations and therefore different recorded profit. So let's look at that 300,000. 300,000 you incurred, you got 200,000 and 260,000 and a 10,000. And also you added another 20 and another 10.
Yes. 10.
So you had in fact, so all this is the cost. So one way what we can do is the physical measurement. If almost the identical types of products are coming, say let's assume here we get 200 units and here we get 300 units. So 300,000 cost is incurred. Joint cost is incurred to produce 500 units. Understand?
Yes.
300,000 cost is incurred to produce 500,000 units. So I know 300,000 divided by 500 will give me per unit joint cost. Per unit joint cost 600. Right? 600. So there are 200,000 units. So 600 into 200. I will allocate 120,000 to this product. And 600 into 300, I will allocate it to this product. By product, we don't normally charge it, as I said. So 200 is the sales price, 120 is the joint product cost. So you make a profit of 80 in the product A. 200 minus 120. How do I get the 120? I allocated that 300 joint cost according to the number of units produced. Correct?
Yes.
Right? So, per unit the cost is 600 joint cost. So 200 units of product A, 120. 300 product units of product B, 180. So the 300 is allocated that way. So you have a profit of 80. So out of 80, another 20 will go as further processing, leaving a product profit of 60 for A. Here, 260 minus 180, 120 is the profit. Out of that, another 20 will go, making a profit of 100. And the byproduct has bought 10, so 160 plus 60 plus 100 plus 10 is the profit, 170. So remember earlier we said 470 minus 300, but we were not sure who is making a profit. But this way we know A is making a profit of 60, B is making a profit of 100, and C is making a profit of 10. So that is one way we can value it. 170, the profit. So you can see that is one way. That is based on the number of units. So based on the number of units, I got a profit of A 60, B 100, and C 10. One way. That way you can allocate the profit. Now let's look at another way to allocate this profit. Let's look at. So this is based on the number of units we made. So let's look at another way we can allocate this profit. So we have a 300,000 joint cost, right? So what we do not know, we know the selling price is 200, that we know. We know the further processing cost is 60, that we know. 20 we know. We know we are not going by the output, right? So what's the next way we can look at? So the next way we can look at is we can look at, okay, hello? Yeah. Hello?
Hello, yes.
Yeah, yes. Yeah, there was a little bit of a disturbance. It's all right now. Okay. So, let's assume that we are not going to allocate it according to the number of units, because the number of units, as I said, it is good if it is the same kind of product, right? It's almost identical. In that case, you can go by the number of units. But if the number of units is not good, what is the basis we can apply? So we can apply the market value at the point of separation. So the market value at the point of separation is 200 and 260. 200 and 260. So what we do is we take that 300,000 cost, joint cost. What is the market price of the two products? 200 plus 260. 460. So we can find out at the point of separation the price per unit, and I can multiply by 200,000 and I can get the amount to be allocated for the product A. I can multiply by 260,000 and I can find out the amount to be allocated to the product B. So there we are not going by the number of units, we go by the market value at the point of split. At the point of split. 200 and 260. So in that situation, the 300,000 you divide it by 460,000 and multiply by 200,000 for you to get the cost for the first product. So it comes to 130,000, let's say 400. And for the other product, it is 300 divided by 460 into 260, which is 170,000. So can you see? Now it's another method. So here the profit is going to be 200 minus 130, 70. And 70 minus 20, the profit is going to be 50. Earlier we got 60. Here 260 minus 170, 90, and minus 10, 80.
Yes.
260, yeah, 260 minus 170, 90, minus 10, 80. Right? So, here 200 minus 130, 70. 70 minus 20 is 50. Yes, that's all right. And here 260 minus 170, 90. 90 minus 10 is 80. And also I have the 10,000.
Yes.
I made a mistake somewhere. Let me see where I made a mistake. So 460, 470, I must get the 170 because here I have the 170. So I must get that 170. I must see where I made the mistake. So let's look at the first one. So the allocation is 130, 170, no problem. 200 minus 130. No. Here what I did was I have not taken, I took the 60 but I did not take this 20, the further processing cost. So when I take the further processing cost, it will be 40. And here when I take the further processing cost, it will be 90. It will be 130, 140. Earlier one. Because there is another 20,000 and a 10,000 further processing cost. But in this case, now you can say it is A is 50, B is 80, C is 10, still 140, but different profits.
Yes.
Why? We allocated in a different way. So we took the market value at the point of separation. What is the market value at the point of separation? 200 and 260. And we allocated accordingly that one. Right? There is another way we can allocate it, the net realizable value or net realizable net relative sales. Net realizable value or net relative sales. Oh, right. I missed it. Okay, no harm. Right? It's all right. No problem. So the 300 is the joint cost, 200, 260 and 10. And we said further processing cost of 20 and 10. So the net realizable value is out of 200, 20 will go 180. Here 200, another 10 will go 260, 10 will go 250 and 10 and 10. Right? So we allocate not at the market value at the point of separation, taking this 180 and 250. So total cost is 300. We divide it by the total net realizable value. How much? 180 and 250, 430. 430.
Yes.
So 300 divided by 430 into 180 will give me the cost that needs to be allocated for the product A. So 300 is my total joint cost. My total net realizable value is 180 plus 250, 430. I divide it and multiply by 180 for me to get the price for the first product, which is 125. And for the second product, 300 divided by 430 into 250. Right? So 300 into 250 divided by 430. So there we get 175. So you can see that 300 we allocated in different ways. First way we allocated according to the number of units. Second time we allocated according to the market value at the point of separation. Third time we have allocated according to the net realizable value, that is even after taking the further processing cost. So now 200 is the selling price, 125 is the cost, and further processing cost are 20. So 145 minus 255. So now you will elect your profit in A is 55. Earlier you remember we had 60 or something like that. B 260, 260 minus 170 minus 10, 180 minus 260 is 80. Sorry, 260 minus 170, 90 and minus 10. 175, 185, 75. And the C is 10. So you can see that same 140 profit, how many different ways we have apportioned. So what you need to remember is there the joint cost, you can apportion it according to the number of units. Number one. Joint cost you can apportion according to the market value at the point of separation. Joint cost you can apportion according to the net realizable value at the point of sale. That is what we saw here. So many different methods can be applied, and the method that you apply will give a different profit and a different inventory valuation. So your inventory valuation is also going to be changing, because you are now going to value the inventory at 125, right? 125 plus 20, your inventory will be valued at 145. Here the inventory will be valued at 175 plus 10, 183. So inventory will be valued at. All this time what we did was we ignored the byproduct. Byproduct we just brought it as another separate sundry sale, and we did not include it under costing. Correct?
Okay.
Is that clear for you?
Yes.
Yeah. Because we'll be doing some questions later on, it will be much more clearer. But for the moment, just try to understand it, the principles behind it. Okay?
Yes. Yes.
Right. So when you are doing questions, it will become much more clear. Then accounting for joint products and byproduct. So joint cost will require apportionment of inventory valuation purposes. So joint cost will require apportionment file. So whatever the way you use it, ultimately that will be your inventory valuation cost. Then joint cost can be apportioned to the units produced according to the unit output of each product. That is what we just discussed, the first method what we discussed. Second method, we use a portion on the basis of the market value of each product. Third method, we use net realizable value after the separation, looking at the further cost of that 20 and 10. So that is what we'll look at all the time. The byproducts. The byproducts, you remember we got a 10. So we can either treat that 10 as a full profit, just like what we did it all this time. Or what you can do is, you know, you got 300, no, the joint product cost, remove the 10, the byproduct cost, byproduct selling value, and apportion only 290. Without apportioning the 300, remove the byproduct cost, because byproduct is not particular to a particular product. It can be A, it can be B, or it can be, because Y is producing A and B, you are producing the byproduct. So because of that, what you do is you ignore the whole thing and remove the 10 and then start it with the 290. So now, for example, earlier same example, we had A 200, B 260, and the byproduct cost was 10, and joint product cost was 300. Okay. So what we did was earlier we took the 300 and we assumed that the two products are 200 and 300. So we deducted it by 500, divided it by 500, found the cost to be 600 per unit. So 600 into 200, 120, 600 into 200 and 600 into 300, 180, we apportion. But without doing that one, we can apportion not the 300 but 290. That is deducting the byproduct cost. Take the 290 figure. 290 figure divided by 500. So you get 580. So that 580, 200 units, 580, 160. 300 units, 580, 174. Now can you see what is happening? Right? It is profit of 84 and a profit of 260 minus 174, 86. So 170. And removing that joint product, the subsequent cost of 10 and 20, you will have a different profit. So what I'm trying to explain is there are different methods you can use it to apportion the joint product cost. There are three methods: output, market value at the point of separation, or net realizable value at the point of sale. You can either use one of the three methods. The byproduct profit, you can treat it just like earlier we treated. You take it as a 10 profit without mixing up with the main two product. Or what you do is, you look at the joint product cost of 300, deduct the byproduct cost 10, and apportion only the net cost to the main two product. So, different methods are there. So, we will look at some questions and we will understand it much better. But what I want is, I want you to go to this recording and try to understand the whole thing before we start on question. So, if processing is necessary, the cost will be deducted in arriving at the revenue. So, the main two products, generally there is further processing available. So maybe you have to put a new label, you have to put up a new bottle, or that is what we call further processing. So whatever that further processing, you have to deduct it from your joint cost, or rather you have to add it to the joint cost to get the further processing cost to arrive at your profit. So let's look at an example. Here we have an organization producing two joint products, A and B. Cost are 750. The joint cost is 750. And the following information is provided. Product A, 100 kilograms produced, sold 80. Product B, 200 kilograms, sold 150. Selling price 5 and 2. Joint cost 750. Apportion the cost using the cost between the product using the following methods: physical measurement, market value at the point of separation, and NRV. So the total cost is 750, joint cost. One way we can do is look at the number of amount produced. Produced is 100 and 200. So we divide it by 300, and if you want to find the product cost of A, multiply by 100. Divided by 300, if you want to find the joint cost of product B, multiply by 200. So it will be 300, 250, 250 here, and 250, 500. So this is one way. This is based on the unit, right? Yeah. Based on the physical measurement. So you allocate the 750, 250, and 500. One way. The other way is we can work it out on the basis of the market value. So what is the market value? The selling price is 5. So the selling price of product A is 500.
5.
The selling price of product B is 2 into 200, 400.
How is it 500?
Pardon? 5 into 100, 500. 2 into 2, 400. Right?
Yes, I understand this.
2 into 400. So now what we do is we take the 750 joint cost. Total market value is 900. Divide the 900. And if you want to find the product cost of A, multiply by 500. If you want to find the product cost of B, multiply by 400.
Yes.
So this is another way we can take it out. So the earlier example what we worked it out. So now we can see the product cost is 750 minus 900 divided by 900 into 500. So it is going to be 417 or something like that here. And here it is going to be 750 minus divided by 900 minus plus the multiplied by 400, 333. 333. So earlier 750 was allocated product A 250 and product B 500. Now we allocate product A 417, product B 330. Clear?
Yes, clear.
So 750, you can allocate it like that. So that's another method to allocate it. So that is we are going at the market value at the point of separation.
Right.
We don't have an NRV figure here because there is no further processing available. So because of that we will not use this method. Otherwise, you can use that method also if there was further processing available. So this is what we really do with this joint product. So basically, what I want to do is I want to stop it at this point. I want you to understand these things on the joint product.
Yes.
Next
This
lesson.
example is clear. Yes.
Yeah.
Example is clear. Yes.
Well, pardon?
This example is clear.
Very clear, very clear. Yeah,
Yes,
I want you to go through these things very carefully, because next lesson I'm going to do is something which is called throughput accounting, which is bit advanced. So I don't want to start it today. I want you to take one at a time and first go through these things and get good grip of this one, Sam.
All right.
So just go through these things and get a good grip of this thing. So still your time schedule is the same thing?
Yes.
Yeah.
But if it's earlier than this time, it's okay.
Earlier than this time is also alright. No, but if it is convenient to you, this time is okay by me.
Yes.
Or
Okay.
I can make it even half an hour early. So I'm thinking whether we can do another lesson on Monday.
Okay, that's good.
Monday same. Yeah.
What about Alex? He used to be attending the class.
Pardon?
Alex.
Yeah, Alex, I'm meeting him on Friday.
Okay.
Yeah, Alex, I'm meeting him on Friday, this Friday. So I have 2 or 3 more classes to go with you before you both of y'all will be parallel.
All right. No problem.
So I will do another class with you on Monday. Maybe same time I can do it. Monday is a holiday, yeah? So Monday I can do it at the same time.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Next Monday, right?
Pardon?
Next Monday.
Yeah,
Next
Monday 13th.
Yes.
Yeah, Monday 13th. So we will do a class because I'm meeting Alex on Friday. So I will do with you on Monday 13th. Before that, I will send you the recording. And Monday 13th, what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at the throughput. But before looking at the throughput, in the areas what we have covered up, we are going to look at few more questions.
It's all right.
Yeah. So that questions will give you a better learning experience. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So let's meet on Monday, and maybe we can fix up another time Monday, and maybe we can fix it up for the Wednesday also next week.
Okay, right.
Yeah.
All right.
Right. So we will do Monday and Wednesday so that we can cover up a fair amount of area. Okay.
All right.
Right.
Okay.
So I'll see you on Monday,
All right.
Sam.
Take care.
Take care.
Yes,
Thank you.
Yeah. Allah bless your daughter. Yes.
Thank you. Great. Thank you. Okay. Bye, Sam. Thank you.
Okay. Take care. Okay.
Bye.
All right. Thank you very much. Okay. Bye.